Hello, my name is Armin Sabotic. In this video presentation, I am to discuss training and development as a human resource management strategy. Using critical analysis and reference to theoretical concepts, I will aim to see whether it is possible or desirable to improve organisational performance using HRM strategies. What is organisational performance? This is described as an analysis of organisational performance compared to its goals and objectives. This allows organisations to measure and monitor its financial performances. Performance in relation to organisations is concerned with efficiency, competitiveness, productivity, and effectiveness. Throughout this presentation, I intend to determine whether there is a link between human resource management, performance and training, and development strategy. Human resource management deals with management of people within the organisation, for example, employment and recruitment of staff, organising training, and making sure employees are working up to expectation. It also plans for future ventures and sets organisational goals and objectives. Human resource management can be described as an attempt to integrate the use of HR resources and wider business strategy of organisations. Human resource management is central to creating organisational competence. Decisions and actions made by this department can determine whether an organisation is successful or not. Traditionally, the HR approach has a focus on internal interventions based on the effectiveness of processes and employees. Strategic human resource management concept entails four main factors: use of planning, people in the organisation being recognised as a strategic source for competitive advantage, matching HRM policies to business strategy, coherent approach to design and management of HRM systems based on employment, strategy and policies. HRM assists in change, development and flexibility to sustain a competitive advantage. What distinguishes HRM from people management is that it is essential to organisational performance and it has a strategic dimension. The alignment of HR strategy and business strategy are also made through human resource management. HRM is performance related, competitive sustaining competition advantage, for example improvement in the market share. One of the most recent approaches to improving organisational performance using HRM strategies is training and development. Training and development has been defined as a strategy that aligns the organisational strategy by using techniques of managing people to effectively enhance an organisation's strategy. Training can be described as an instructor-led intervention that leads to the change of individuals' behaviour or skill level. Development can be defined as changes in the long-term process of training in employees and how it can be developed and utilised to enhance job performance. Training is often considered to be used for new employees, however this is not the case as training is key to all members within an organisation. Informal training can make a vital contribution to an organisation. It can be argued lack of experience is not much of a problem with informal training when it is only used to operate on a mandatory level. This type of training can create flexibility and also individualised training programs that suit employees' capabilities and characteristics. Employees are likely to invest and commit to training for survival of the firm. This creates competitive advantage. In the long term, employees may not stay due to better offers from other organisations or larger firms. This is because small companies tend to have little room for development. To keep this return on investment, organisations could complement training with incentives or maybe new contracts. This will help the organisation to keep valuable employees in order to improve retention rates. Looking at how training and development is used in organisations, it is important to understand that individuals have different learning techniques and that there are different types of training within organisations that is used to improve productivity. This would include on-the-job training, computer-assisted training such as e-learning systems, classroom training and also presentations, with the possibility of outsourcing and training off-site. Recent studies by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Development have shown that a majority of employees would be more devoted to organisations that invest in their development, thus reducing labour turnover. Looking at how training and development can improve performance, the development of employees can act as a reward creating engagement, which in turn can increase motivation and productivity, thus keeping a competitive organisational performance. The aim of employees undergoing training programs would be to develop their abilities and skills and also to keep them up to date with new technologies. This allows organisations to run more effectively and of a higher standard, thus leading to greater productivity and improved performance. Looking at some of the advantages and disadvantages of training and development, trends have shown that organisations have a growing emphasis on e-learning. This is very advantageous as it incorporates a variety of learning methods that can be suited for individuals. This would also not disrupt productivity and will reduce costs spent on training. Training and development can make employees feel more valued by an organisation. It can lead to an increase in their morale and motivation. This in return would enhance employee productivity and will benefit their business. However, training and development can be very time consuming and also very costly. Formalised training, such as on-the-job training or in a classroom, may be seen as fairly disengaging and tedious. Therefore, employees may lose concentration and not benefit from the training. Small organisations also have restricted development. This could be due to their size or resources available. Therefore, they fear the possibility of losing valuable employees that have been trained to larger organisations. Also, irrelevant training and possibly too much training could confuse employees and also waste valuable time and money. The link between training and development to performance is not as simple as thought. As producing a training programme, it seems organisations will need to implement other strategies such as reward appraisals, which will allow them to enhance better performance within the organisation. For training and development to be beneficial and successful within an organisation, careful planning is important. Human Resources Department must figure out what training is required, what type of training they need, and where they will be trained. By doing this, they'll be more efficient and will utilise resources and will keep their costs to a minimum. Also, within the organisation, they must have the right culture, good leadership, positive change, good structure in place. It is important that they set realistic targets with training and development and that progress is monitored. Is it desirable to improve organisational performance using HRM strategies? Obviously, it is desirable for organisations to use training and development strategy to improve their performance. Training is desirable by all organisations. However, factors must be considered and taken into account to determine whether it would be beneficial for the business, for example, the costs and the resources available to them. To conclude my findings, I would say there is definitely the possibility that training and development strategy can be used to improve organisational performance. However, it must be determined whether it will be beneficial to the organisation. Whilst it can be very desirable and can improve performance, if cost and resources implications outweigh the benefits of the training, then it may not be appropriate for the business. In order to assess if training and development will be useful for an organisation, the human resource managers must be aware of the resources that they have available and then make that decision. Thank you for your attention and for watching my video. I hope you found it interesting and useful. Feel free to leave any comments.